Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday the 21st of June 2021. Let's hope everybody has a good week. Today is our beginner's day for Sudoku. This is really Monday is the only day I can reliably guess what level of puzzle is going to be in the Guardian. Monday is always a very easy day, so I call it beginner's day. So we'll get onto that in a moment. Just before I mention the fact that the head of climate change at the UN is complaining and warning that leaders are still a long way from getting an agreement on $100 billion deal to help developing countries invest in green technologies, and we really need this, of course. Climate change is not limited to a single geographic location. It's the entire planet that we need to be working on, and if money needs to be passed to the right locations, countries that can't afford to invest in green technologies will do very well. I mean, apart from anything else, it might help to distribute wealth to poorer countries and smaller economies that so badly need it. Let's not forget, even though richer countries have suffered economically because of COVID, they are still vastly wealthy, and some individuals are outrageously wealthy within those countries as well. And this is very unfair and unjust for the entire planet. So let's hope there's some movement on that. Right. I have to explain about Sudoku now. If you're just starting today, and many people will be, or just maybe played a couple of games and wondering what is Sudoku about and why should I play it, well, there was an interesting Facebook discussion I was looking at yesterday, which had a lot of responses, and people play it for all kinds of reasons. Just the basic idea is just fun, of course, but some people were thinking that it helps their thinking ability, maybe their cognitive ability, logic skills, and I don't know, meditative process, of course, as well. So all of these can be factors, I think. But I'm glad that you're here and starting to play the game. And I can tell you that having played it for many years, it is still very enjoyable. And so what are the rules of the game? Well, the rules are very simple to understand. If you can count to 9, and I hope that you can, but you don't need to be good at maths or understand anything about maths, really. Just the ability to recognize 9 different things. Now, we use numbers. If you've seen some of my other videos where I have changed numbers to other things, like food items or something, then you'll see actually they don't need to be numbers. It just happens that numbers are easily recognizable by everybody and easy to see and work through. It's very noisy this morning. Can you believe it? My neighbors are chatting. The motorbikes are driving past outside. I do apologize. Hardly Zen-like this morning, is it? But anyway. Right, so we have rows across. We have columns down designed into a grid, and we have these outlines here of larger blocks. And then there are 9 squares in each row across. We sometimes call them squares, we can call them cells, and we have the same down. So what we do is we put in numbers 1 to 9 in the rows across and the rows down. Since there are 9 squares, it means each number can appear once only. These blocks, I should say, also contain 9 squares, and they also need numbers 1 to 9. So it's a matter of seeing how they fit. Now look at this block here. We have a lot of numbers in here already. We already have 3, 6, 4, 2, 9, 7. We only have 3 empty squares. So this might be a good place to start. So, right, as I say, it's numbers 1 to 9. So clearly we don't have a number 1 in this block yet. But this column has a number 1, and that means that 1 can't appear again in this column because only 9 squares, there are only 9 numbers. So this square here can't possibly be a 1 because of this one here, and here we have a 1, and that means 1 can't appear in this column. So if this square and this square are not 1, then that one has to be, because that's the only one left, right? So that has to be a 9 like that, a 1 like that, sorry. And now we should probably count through and see. We have 2 more numbers missing. What are they? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there a 5? No. So we'll hold that in our heads. 6, 7, 9. So 5 and 8 are the missing numbers. So we know that 5 and 8 will go into these 2 squares. But there's no 5 or 8 up or down here that says, hey, you can't put a 5 or an 8 here. So for now we can't do anything about that. Nothing across here. So we'll just forget about it for now and come back and look at it later, which is that's something you do in Sudoku. It's re-examine things you've done. I'm just sighing because of the background noise. Now you might think, well then in that case I shouldn't really look at this block up here. This has no numbers. If this has a lot of numbers, you know, logically I should look down here, not look up here, but that's not always the way to play it. If your eye sees something, then go with it. That's my intuition advice. I see a lot of 4s. These 4s have really hit my eye, and I notice that this 4 means that blocks right up that column, and this 4 means look right up here. So if we examine this top block here, no 4 can exist in here, and no 4 can exist in here. So we've blocked these 6 cells already, squares or cells already. So that limits us to this row here, a column here, sorry, I should say. And this 4 means that that can't be true, and this 4 means that that can't be a 4. So again, there's just one place left where we can put a 4. So even though there were no other numbers here, we can still find a number. It doesn't mean that because it's blank and that we can't find any numbers there. But we will come back to this now. So look, again, 1 blocking along here in this row and 1 blocking along in this row gives us a 1 here, doesn't it? And now that we've put in that 4, this is actually going to give us another number, because now we know there's a 1 here. So we use this 1 that we've put in here and we say that that blocks up this column, and this one blocks up this column, and this one blocks this square here. So there's only one place where a 1 can go. Hope that makes sense. We should see what's missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a 6, we don't have a 7, we have 8 and 9. So we know that 6 and 7 are the missing numbers in these 2 squares. But look, 6 means that can't be a 6. So we can in fact fill in both of these, because that has to be a 6, and now there's only one number left, and that's a 7. Now I noticed that we have 1s in every one of these blocks except this block here. Now if that's the case, you can find the final digit, the final digit 1 I should say. We have a 1 here, a 1 here, a 1 here, a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. If you get this situation, you can always find the last remaining digit. And that's because you have enough intersecting squares. So look, this 1 will block down here, this one will block up here, this one will block across here, and this one will block across here. So that is the only square left. So we can fill in a 1 there. There's 2 blocks along here, there's 2 blocks along here, and there's 2 blocks up here. So that will give us a 2 in this square here. Are you getting the idea now? Hope so. Shall we see what else is missing here? 1, 2, we don't have a 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't have 7 or 8, so 3, 7 and 8 are missing. Now we know that 8 blocks this square here, but that still gives us 2 places, so we can't tell. 3 and 7, we have no other 3s or 7s giving us information here, so we don't know, so we'll just leave that again. Right, so let's come back and look. Where should we look? Shall we look in By the way, I don't attempt these games before beginning, so if it takes a short while for me to spot something, it's because this is completely unrehearsed. So now there's 6 blocks down here, and there's 6 blocks over here, and there's 6 blocks over here. So kind of blocking, blocking, and blocking, and again that just leaves us with 1 square available to fit in a 6. There are 3 numbers missing here. I think we should check what they are. We have a 1, we don't have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't have a 7, and we don't have a 9. Okay, so 2, 7, and 9 are the missing numbers in this lower row here, 2, 7, and 9. Now you need to remember that, 2, 7, and 9. But look, this 9 means that that can't be a 9, and this 9 means that that can't be a 9, and so the 9 has got to be here, right? And so now that leaves us with 2 and 7 here and here. Is there anything that we can, up here, that we can say is 2 or 7? No, there isn't. So we will just hold off on that for the moment. And look elsewhere. I mean, the point is, of course, you shift your attention to somewhere else. Right, I see this 4 blocking down here, I see this 4 blocking down here, and I see this 4 over here. So blocked, blocked, and blocked means 4 has to come here. This 2 now blocks down here, and this 2 blocks down here now. So in fact now we can understand that this has to be a 2. 2 blocking this square, 2 blocking these 2 squares, so this has to be a 2. And remember, we can also get this. Now, did you remember what the missing number was? If not, you will be able to do this as you play a bit more, but it's a 7. But if you're not sure, we'll count through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7 yet. Now we have it. Now, if you remember, we needed a 7 up here, but still that limits us to putting it in these 2 squares, so we still don't know exactly where it goes yet. So we still can't do anything about this block up here just yet. What numbers are missing here now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have a 5? No. Can we tell where it goes? No. 6. Do we have a 7? No. Can we tell where it goes? Yes. Because look, 7 here blocks this square and this square. So we know 7 goes here. So let's go back and count again. Let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have a 5? No. 6, 7. Do we have an 8? No. So we know that in these 2 squares we need to place a 5 and an 8. Now, is there anything that tells us which is which? Yes, there is. This 8 here means that that can't be an 8. So the 8 goes here, and this now is a 5, and now we have a complete block. Another complete block. 2 complete blocks, I should say. So now we can actually find out the missing numbers here by counting along this row, and these 2 by counting along this row. Now we may be able to fit them in, maybe or maybe not, but we certainly can find out what they are. 1, 2, no 3, no 4 in this row here. Are there any 3s or 4s up here which tell us? No, so we'll forget that. 1, no 2 here, 3, 4, 5. So 2 and 5 are missing in this row here, 2 and 5. But look, 2 up here and also a 5 up here. So we can see immediately this can't be a 2. And even we would know that this can't be a 5. The 5 has to go there. Okay, now we're making good progress, I think. Hope you understand how this is kind of narrowing down our options. There are 2 numbers missing here. We can find out what they are by counting through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no 6, 7, 8, no 9. 6 and 9 are the 2 missing numbers in this column here, and here's an intersecting 9. So the 9 goes here, and the 6 goes here. Now we can see 9 blocking across here, 9 blocking across here, 9 blocking this square, 9 blocking this square. So 9 has to go here. And if you're wondering what happened there, my finger disappeared or something, well, I had a camera glitch and the software crashed. I hope you managed to see what I was doing there. I think I was putting in this 9, and then I have to restart the video. So okay, but I haven't done anything else, so the 9 goes in here. The next thing I can see is that there's 6 blocks across here and 6 blocks across here, and we don't yet have a 6 in this block, so we can fill in the 6 here, 6 blocking down here, 6 blocking up here, and 6 blocking across. See, it's getting much easier now, because in these easier level puzzles, the more numbers you fill in, the easier it gets. That's not always true in the hard level puzzles, surprisingly. You might imagine that's generally true, but it's not. 6 across here, 6 across here, 6 down, 6 up, so that gives us a 6 here. And that was in fact the last digit 6, so we don't have to be concerned about that anymore. There are 3 numbers missing here. We have 1, 2. Do we have a 3? No, we don't. 4, 5, 6. 7 and 8 are missing, so 3, 7 and 8 are missing. Well, we have a 3 here, but no 3s here. We have a 7 here, but no 7s here. 8s could go anywhere, so we'll just have to hold off on that for a little bit longer as well. There are 3 numbers missing here. We have 1. We don't have a 2. We can see 2 blocking here, so 2 is going to be limited to these 2 squares. We don't have a 3 in this column. We can see 3 is going to block there, so it'll be limited to these 2 squares, which is not the same. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we don't have an 8, but an 8 could go anywhere. Okay, so we can't tell on that yet. So that's not going to help us. What's missing here? 1, 2. We don't have a 3. That could go anywhere. 4. We don't have a 5. 5 could go anywhere. And we also don't have a 7, I believe. And 7 could go anywhere. So now you're thinking, oh dear, so now what's happening? Is it a struggle? Is it tough? No. We just keep searching around and looking for other patterns. Now, I guess that if you're new to Sudoku, you need to probably be more methodical and count through the numbers like 1, 2, 3 and see what the alternatives are. So I don't generally do that because I've been playing the game for such a long time that I can see patterns fairly quickly from in a random fashion. So that's why I don't often do that. But let's see. So 1s we don't need to care about; they're done already. 2s, are there any missing 2s? Yeah. So we don't have a 2 in this block or in this block. Now 2 blocks up here and down here and across the middle. And here we know that 2 is going to go here and here, so here and here. But that's about it. Nothing else. Let's have a look at 3s, shall we? Now there's 3 blocks up here, so we know we're going to limit it to these 2 squares here. And that means that that won't be a 3. But we already know that 3 is in these 2 squares here anyway. If you remember, we looked at these. There's 3 blocks along here. And we can't tell anything else around here. We already know that 3 and 4 are in these 2 squares, if you can remember. If not, you can just count through and see that that's true. 3 blocks up here, so that's really it. Nothing else we can see there. 4s, where are the 4s missing? 4s are missing from here. Okay, so 4 blocking along here and 4 blocking along here. So blocked, blocked, and 4 blocking down the middle. But from up here, nothing. So 4 is limited to one of these 2 squares. So again, we can't place it entirely. There's nothing up there right now. 5s, we know that we can see there's 5 blocking along here like this, so that limits us to these 2 squares. We know 5 is in one of these 2. That's not going to help. 5 blocking up here, that puts 5 in one of these 2 squares. 5 down here, 5 up here, 5 somewhere along here. That's not going to help us either. Now don't panic, don't worry. Don't worry, fellow Sudokan, even if you're new to the game. You might be panicking and think, oh, what do I do from this point on? Don't worry, we will get there. 7 across here, 7 up here. Any help? No, not really. 8s, 8 blocks up here, giving us these possibilities. 8 is in these squares here, these two squares here, over here, there or there. No, can't tell anything. 9s. Well, it took us a long while. We had to count through all the... This is why, partly why I don't do this, is because it takes quite a long time often to count through the numbers. But look, there's a 9 blocking up here, and a 9 blocking down here, and then a 9 blocking across here. And so that will in fact give us a number. Now we can place 9. So what's our technique now? So we just say, well, look, we counted through all of the numbers, and we got to 9, and that's the final digit 9, so that's it. We can't do anything else. But remember that now you have placed a number, the situation is different. Every time you put in a new number, the situation is different, and you could start again with your counting. Okay. Now, good idea though is often to look and see the number that you've put in, how does that affect anything else. So we've put it in this column, so maybe we'll check on this column again. We have a 1, 2, we don't have a 3, we don't have a 4, and we don't have a 7. So in this column the missing numbers are 3, 4 and 7. But look, this 4 means that's not a 4, and this 4 means that that's not a 4. So that has to be a 4 now, okay? Because 3, 4 and 7, no 4, no 4, so 4 has to go here, right? So putting in that 9 there changed the situation and allowed us to fill in this 4. Now if you remember, this is a 3. I hope you remember that from before, but if not, never mind. Now we can also imagine this 4 blocking across here, 4 blocking across here, and 4 blocking down here. So that will also give us a 4 in that location there. So counting through, working through diligently, and getting to the last digit, which is 9, gave us several more numbers, and will probably finish the puzzle for us now. Once you've got a kind of breakthrough like that, usually that's what you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have a 7 in this row, we have a 9, so 7 and 8 are the missing numbers in these two squares. And look, here's an intersecting 7, so that's now got to be an 8, and the 7 has to appear there. Now, there are 2 numbers missing here. Do you remember what they were? No, it's a long time ago, so let's count again. 1, 2, no 3, and no 8. But this 8 means that that's not an 8, so the 8 has to go here, and the 3 has to go here like this. This 3 blocks these 2 squares, this 3 blocks up here, so that's our 3 there, like this. The missing numbers here, 1, 2, no 3 in this row, but look, I quickly see an intersecting 3, so we know 3 is going to go there. Let's count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no 8 in that row, so we can fill in the 8. Now remember, these 2 missing numbers were 5 and 8. I'm not sure if you remembered, but I did, and that's all that matters now. So this is not 8, that's 8, and that's 5. There's 1 number missing in this column. 1, 2, 3. Is there a 4? Yes, 4, 5, 6. But no 7 yet. So 7 has to go here. 1 number missing either in this column or in this block. It doesn't matter which way you look for it. Either way, you're going to discover that it's a 5 when you count through. 1 number missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No 5. So 5 goes there. Right. Okay, so mostly done now. Let's check on these 2 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a 9, so these have to be 7 and 8 in these 2 squares here, and we can see an 8 disallows that, so from being an 8, so that's the 8 and that's the 7. What else now? 7 blocks along here, 7 blocks along here, and 7 blocks up here, or just in fact 7 blocking this column is all you need to know that 7 goes there. 1 number missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 7. 1 number missing in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you want to count through and double check, you haven't made a mistake. Okay, so very close to finishing now. 1, 2 we don't have in either of these 2 squares. Are there any intersecting 2s? No. So let's keep going. 3, 4, 5 we don't have. Any intersecting 5s? Yes. 5 can't be here. So 5 has to go here, and then the 2 has to go here like this. What's missing here? Well, we have a 1, we don't yet have a 2, but this 2 means that that can't be 2. That's a 3. Okay, this 3 means that that is not a 3, so that's a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last number is 8. If that's your first Sudoku puzzle done, congratulations. I hope you got the idea behind the binary logic. Sometimes it's either or. Okay, and please subscribe to this channel. Come back, learn more about Sudoku from myself and other places. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.